Welcome to Oslo on this bitingly cold January day. It is about -10. Behind me and behind this frozen lake is Vigeland Sculpture Park. That's what today's video is all about. It's one of the top tourist destinations in Oslo and in all of Norway, in fact. This is somewhere I've been many times. It's in Vigeland Park here in the leafy western side of Oslo and houses more than 200 sculptures by the Norwegian sculptor Gustav Vigeland. It is essentially his life's work. I believe it's the largest sculpture park by a single artist anywhere in the world. Perhaps you've already been to Vigeland Park or you're planning a visit to Oslo and wondering what this place is all about. Well then, keep watching because in this video I'm going to give you a complete guide to visiting Vigeland Park, whatever time of year you choose. As I said, I've been here year round, so some of the footage you'll see will be from other times of the year to give you an idea for what Vigeland Park is like year round. Now, just before we get started, please do check out lifeinnorway.net for more on Vigeland Park, things to do in Oslo, and all things Norway in English. Now, let's go see some sculptures. Oslo in the winter can be a chilly place, as it was this January morning. In the past, I've walked to the park from downtown, but I won't recommend that when the temperature is below zero. As I've said, Vigeland Park is in Vigeland Park, a vast green space to the west of downtown Oslo. As the crow flies, it's about 1.5 kilometres from the Royal Palace and almost 3k from Oslo Central Station. Previously I've taken the metro to Majorstuen and walked from there, but with work taking place on the network, I took the tram instead. Although not as charming as the classic trams, Oslo's new trams are so much better. They are easier to board and much more spacious. Plus, the tram stops right outside the park at the stop Vigelandsparken. The entrance is right across the street, although you'll usually have to dodge the tourist buses before seeing these beautiful entrance gates, featuring lots of intriguing details. Walking through these gates, you'll likely be surprised to find what simply looks like an ordinary park, with people jogging, walking their dogs, and so on. The sculptures don't start for a while. To the right, you'll find a small service building with restrooms and a cafe. This statue of Gustav Vigeland stands outside. Check out this map of the park to get your bearings, although it is pretty simple to figure it out as it's just one long walk to the end and back. The first section of the Vigeland sculptures you reach is known as the bridge, which crosses a lake and is where I open this video. There were more people here than I expected, more so in fact than when I last visited in the summer, just showing the year-round appeal of Vigeland Park. Vigeland modelled these sculptures on the bridge between 1925 and 1933. And they were the first sculptures to be installed here at the park in the early 1940s. I think these bronze sculptures are actually my favourites in the entire park. They show so vividly all aspects of the human condition, struggles with relationships and parenthood, and a range of emotions from anger to pure glee. What I'm showing you now are some of my favourites. Which are yours? Let me know in the comments. Of course, the most popular sculpture in the whole park is here, the iconic Sinnataggen, or the Angry Boy. It's actually much smaller than most people realise, and slightly hidden behind another sculpture, but if you can't see it, just look for the tourists and their selfie sticks. As you walk towards the next part of the park, you'll surely see some dog walkers and joggers as the trails through Vigeland Park cross the sculpture park here. Summer or winter, Norwegians are out walking and jogging. Keep walking on, and depending on the season, you might see some colourful flowers in the rose garden. Either way, you'll soon reach the fountain. Gustav Vigeland designed this fountain, quickly gaining international acclaim when exhibited in 1906. The city of Oslo commissioned it a year later, originally for Eidsvoll Square. The fountain features 6 giants holding a saucer-shaped vessel, usually with cascading water, symbolising life's burdens. I say usually, but unfortunately the water is rarely on these days, even in the summer. Surrounding tree groups represents the tree of life and humanity's journey through the stages of life. Also, don't miss these details, all around the base of the fountain. Soon it's time for the Monolith, which stands at the highest point in Vigeland Park, so you'll need to climb these stairs to get there. Take care in the winter, although the steps tend to be salted pretty well. Although it's tempting to rush straight to the monolith, do check out the detail on these gates on the way up. The monolith measures 17 meters above ground and is carved out of one granite block, hence the name. The stone was quarried from Ekeberg in Norway and transported to the park in the late 1920s. It took a team of 3 masons 14 years to complete. Having been covered by a wooden shed during its construction, it was unveiled to the public at Christmas in 1944. The sculpture features 121 human figures intertwined, representing men and women of all ages, with children crowning the top of the monolith. It has been interpreted as a vision of resurrection, symbolizing humanity's longing and striving for spirituality. Whatever it means, it's an impressive artwork and an understandable highlight of the park. The stone sculptures surrounding Vigeland's monolith on the stairs depict a series of deeply expressive human figures, once again showcasing relationships and emotions across all stages of life. These sculptures explore themes such as love, family, conflict, and the passage of time, serving as a powerful reflection of the human experience. Their placement around the monolith enhances the narrative of humanity's journey and makes for some excellent photo opportunities, of course. Although reaching the monolith is most people's aim when visiting the park, it's not the end of the park. To the west of the monolith, atop these stairs, stands the bronze sculpture, the Wheel of Life. Symbolizing eternity, the wheel is designed as a rotating wreath of intertwined women, men and children, holding on to one another for eternity. The return journey gives you another chance to appreciate this remarkable park. Once you've crossed the bridge, turn right towards this white building, which is a cafe serving much needed hot drinks. You'll find the bathrooms behind here too, and there's also some at the service building at the very front of the park. After almost 1 hour out in the cold, a hot coffee in a warm space was exactly what I needed. Now, although that's the end of the sculptures, it's not the end of the things to do here at Vigeland Park. The surrounding Vigeland Park is home to 2 museums, both of which are worth a visit if you want to extend your stay in this part of Oslo. The former Vigeland Manor is home to the City of Oslo Museum, while just outside the park's boundaries is the Vigeland Museum. Let's go take a look at that to learn more about Gustav Vigeland and this park. Even though I've been to Vigeland Park countless times before, this was the first time I visited the museum, as it's a bit of a walk from the sculptures and not so obvious unless you study the signs and know about it in advance. The museum was built in the 1920s as a studio and residence for Gustav Vigeland, and it served as the sculptor's home and workplace until his death. It gives a real insight into Vigeland's early years and his development as an artist, showing his experimentation with the human form. But the real highlight here are the workshop rooms that show the work that went into what we see in Vigeland Park today. Models of the more complicated works and the iconic plaster originals for many of the sculptures are among what's on display. If the park inspires you, a visit to this museum will be well worth it. Just check the opening hours before making a trip, as the museum was only open from midday until 4 o'clock on this winter day. Thanks for watching this guide to Vigeland Park. I hope you found it useful. Watch this video next for more on Oslo, Norway's capital city, and how you can spend your time while you're here. Thanks for watching.